What a game. Damien Penaud scores 2 in the first half. Saints fight their way back, 20-all, locked up at halftime. Bordeaux pull their socks up in the second half. And to keep Northampton Saints scoreless, one of the biggest attacking threats in world club rugby, to keep them scoreless, a fantastic effort from Bordeaux. Deserved winners in their first ever major trophy in the club's history. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the game, who played well, who didn't, who was your man of the match. What did you guys think of the game? What did you think of some of the decisions within the game? I want to hear it all. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Kick On Rugby. I'm your host, Dane Sherratt. And what a game. Firstly, everything and more than kind of what we expected. It was going to be a big game. It was going to be frantic. The intensity was going to be high. There was going to be tries scored, and we got all of that. Some of the TMO interferences and some of the decisions that were made, like I don't usually talk about or too much about refereeing decisions and TMOs on this channel because I feel like there's enough pundits that go around doing that, but some of the decisions that were made and some of the things that were looked at and then some of the things that weren't looked at with regards to high tackles, shoulders, a shoulder contact on head, things like that, got me like, very questionable, some of the things. And then some of it was like, yes, that was probably the right decision. But even then there was a lot of TMO interfering, and I don't know how much I enjoyed it because the game was a lot of stop-start and every decision was second-guessed or shown up on the big screen, replayed, and the referee then just changed his decision, which like sometimes you want, like that's rugby sometimes. You get the call wrong, you get it right. Like, yes, in some instances the TMO is great, but then in others I'm like, oh man, we're stopping every decision gets changed or gets scrutinized or gets looked at. Kind of steals a bit from the game. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on it? So we'll stay on Northampton Saints first. Man, very frantic start. Like I said, very physical, high intensity, and like everything we expected. Like I said, the test level intensity, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch. Obviously, big spanner in the works early on. Furbank gets, his run of injuries lately, bad knock to the head, and he got stretchered off. Then Ram went down, injured as well. And that just, obviously, that's like within the first 10, 15 minutes, there goes your 2 backs reserves. And then you're hoping throughout the rest of the game there's no injuries or anything like that, and it just throws a bit of a spanner in the works. Defensively, I thought Northampton allowed Jalibert to run with the ball a lot or to play with the ball a lot, and I was writing this down like that's not good. You don't want a baller like him to have time with the ball. You want to put him under pressure, make him rush his decisions. As soon as he has time on the ball and he can decide how fast or slow he wants to play or what decisions he wants to make, he has time to do that. Man, it's going to be hard for the opposition because he is quality and he showed it in this game. I think they put themselves under a ton of pressure on their attack because they weren't committing enough players to rucks and getting caught out like that. So isolated rucks, getting that turned over, or just sometimes playing the wrong option and then getting tackled behind the advantage line, and then Bordeaux were getting a roll on from that. They did look real good with ball in hand, the shape that they throw. Like I said, they are probably within the club rugby scene, Northampton's attack is probably one of the best. And when they're on song, when they're getting that front foot ball, when their timing is on and that shape is coming around the corner, they're doing the loops, so the skip passes then out the back, and they've got options, those players coming around the corner. It's lovely. This is a game of 2 of the best club rugby attacking teams going at it. And when Saints had it going, it was lovely to watch. What I did enjoy, what I noticed what they were doing, Saints was really working hard to get to the middle of the field, and then from there you've got both sides to attack on. And that's helped. I mean, it puts the defense into doubt because then you've firstly, you've got two sides to defend on. You don't know which way they're going to go. You don't know how many numbers, how many guys need to fold, how many need to stay on this side. And I think that's what Northampton Saints do really well on attack, is work to the middle, and you've got both, because you've got Finn Smith on one side, and then you've got Hutchinson on the other side that are both good ball players, and they can just run the show on either side of the ruck. Tommy Freeman, like there's a lot of yellow cards as well. Tommy Freeman's yellow card just before halftime, tackle in the air. Like, you've got to make that tackle. You're not letting Damien Penaud get on the ground there and then still run, because he's going to score. It didn't help, really, because Bordeaux did end up scoring after, but Northampton Saints come back right before halftime. This is like, the whistle was going to go, and they get the ball back, or they get the penalty, they kick it down, and like I said early on, they work towards, from that line-out, they work towards the middle, they get a good front foot ball there, and they come back down the blind side. They play their little loop play, bust down the edge, and then Alex Coles gets it from an inside ball and goes over to score. But I just love how they do that play where they work to the middle, or first phase or second phase, whatever it is. They get to the middle. You've got both sides to attack from. Like I said, defensively, you've got no clue which way they're going to go. You don't know how many players need to fold. And it's happening so quickly because you've got good ruck speed. You've got front foot ball. You've got Alex Mitchell there who knows exactly what to do, how quick to play it, which options to take. Same with Finn Smith. And they run that little short side or the little blind side play there. Beautiful down the touchline, and Coles goes over for his second try. Really well executed, precise, the detail, players running from depth, everyone in the right position, and good option taking there as well. Beautiful try. And that was to lock, Finn Smith's beautiful touchline conversion was to lock it up. And that was 20-all at halftime. And I'm like, this is it. They come out in the second half absolutely humming. Pollock scores a try, it gets disallowed. And then I'm like, okay, Saints are coming into their own now, but not to be. There was massive defensive efforts from them on their try line, but it was just continued pressure from Bordeaux, and they just kept knocking. And sooner or later, they're going to bust that door down, and they did in that second half. Saints couldn't score a point, did not score a single point in the second half. That is, you have to give credit to Bordeaux's defense there. We'll jump over to Bordeaux. Man, what do you say? How good. Their first ever major title trophy in their existence. Fantastic. And they did it really well. They played to their strengths, which is quick. Let's play the ball. You've got guys, ballers out the back like Jalabert, Penaud, Mofana was good. Louis BRA, fantastic. You got these guys out wide, play the ball quick. Sometimes it gets them in a bit of trouble where they can be isolated. But I think that whole team is just so used to those guys just playing quick lineouts or quick taps and going that everyone really reacts quickly to that. Do love how they also, and it goes for both wingers, obviously two of the best wingers in world rugby, how they don't just stay on their wing, they come off their wing to add that extra player to then potentially be the link for an overlap or just to be a face, could even be a dummy runner. Louis BRA, that many times just pops up on the other side of the wing. He's a left winger. He's popping up on the right side. It's him and Penaud there. You put a little grubber in, like try and turn around and catch these guys. Or you come face to face with two of the quickest guys in world rugby and they've got a 2-on-1. Just creates that overlap, creates doubts in the defense, and they play to those strengths really, really well. Did love how Jalibert just conducted his business in this game as well. Just also, again, playing to his strengths. He knows out wide he's got these finishers, these fast players. Like, just get them the ball. Create a little bit of space for them sometimes, but otherwise just get them the ball. And then on other instances, create your own. Jalibert's try assist for Coleman, fantastic. Gets a sloppy ball off the back of a line out. Step, back inside, stepped about the whole forward pack. Little basketball, alley-oop over the top, and Coleman goes over in the corner. Fantastic. He was great, Jalibert was, and really just directed this team to win. Fantastic. Him and Luku, fantastic. I think in that back line, or in that whole team, really, while they're all very frantic and very fast-paced and very off the cuff, Luku and I think Mofana are the two anchors in this team because those guys are just, they do get it, go about their business. Mofana is over that vantage line, taking those big hits, making those big carries. Then Luku is also just tempo. He knows where, when, how, what. His option taking is elite. Good kicks off the deck. His up and unders or box kicks were fantastic. Obviously kicking for goal was good as well. And he was unreal. Led his man of the match performance. He was fantastic. So while their attack was fantastic, obviously scoring 28 points, humming their attack, it was also, I think it was a stat, was the first time ever they scored, that was the least amount of points they ever scored in the Champions Cup. I think that was the stat. So they know how to score points. But this game for Bordeaux was one off the back of defensive efforts. Because in that second half, they kept Northampton Saints scoreless. To keep another team that's also one of the best attacking club teams in World Rugby, to keep them scoreless in a final, fantastic. Everyone's talking about Bordeaux's attack, but their defense, or their defensive efforts at least, won them this game for sure in that second half. And yes, while a good defense is a good offense, if that makes sense, they also just kept the ball really well, just kept that continued pressure on Northampton Saints and just took it to them, man. That's fully deserved win, this one, and I hope they party the whole week. I hope everyone, all the fans, they all party the whole week because massive effort for their first ever major title and fully deserved. I do think Luko was their best player on the field, deserved man of the match. Maybe not doing all the outrageous skills and the try assists, but just his calm energy around that forward pack and around that back line, that link between the two. Because like I say, they're very frantic, they're very off the cuff, they're very quick, and that works really well for them. But also in big games like this, you need the guys to just settle things down and say what needs to be said and calm the nerves. And Luko did this fantastically in this game. He was definitely my man of the match and the official man of the match, and just a huge team effort. Fantastic. I thought the reserves that came on, Tommy Funa was unreal when he come on. A ton of carries and just got through his work. Fully deserved. How good for the big fella. And what a win. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.